Hey guys, this is John. You ever have that issue where you're going to put up some Christmas lights, or you got to use your blower, you got to do something outside and you don't have an outlet? Well, this is how I do mine. I use an outlet inside the house and then run through the wall and put an outdoor outlet on the outside. And this outlet happens to be in a closet, so I don't think I'm going to have any problems using up too much power from a closet. But you never know. Some people have some pretty big closets. But one word of advice, kill the power. These GFCI outlets have a little light on them. Tells me when the power's out. So what I do, take the cover off. Here's the cover. All right, pull this away from the box. You'll need some tools. Good screwdriver, a small, long masonry bit, a larger masonry bit. I like using a 5/8 or 3/4 inch spade bit to get through in case there's a stud or piece of wood in the back. Usually there is. You might need a metal cutting bit if your box is metal. Mine's not, they're plastic. So once I get this out of the way, I got to get room. And I don't know, you're not going to be able to see this. So let's see if I can come down some with this. I don't think this will. No, this doesn't zoom in when it's facing front. But I have an extension on this. I don't think I'm going to need to go back too far. You want to make sure you're clear of any of the wiring. Go to the back. I'll cut it out. And so that gets through the plastic. And I do have a piece of wood in the back. So when you get through the wood, got to be careful. Make sure you don't hit any of the wires because you don't want to cut into the insulation on the wires. So I'm through the wood. And if you've got a wood facade or wood siding, you can go ahead all the way through. What I would do is I would get through the wood before you get through the siding. I would switch to a small bit so you can cut through, which I'm going to do for masonry. And then that makes a small hole. And then you can come in from the other side. A lot of houses have brick veneer, which are thin brick facing veneer on the side of their house. You don't want to push too hard because you can actually push that off the wall. So you get a small hole, and then you come from the outside with the large bit to go through the brick. So I'm going to go with a small one. Right there. There you go, I'm all the way through. Now the hole doesn't have to be exactly centered, but it's got to be through enough that you can get this guy through it, which I'm going to go through the other end. Here's our exit. So all we got to do, come in from this way. go. Should be good enough. Now we'll check the other side to make sure it goes all the way through. Move this out the way, so now you see got daylight all the way through. That's what we need. All right, so now we have our hole goes all the way through the wall. Next is you need some Romex. This is, wait, what do they say was 2-1? It has a hot, common, and ground. So we probably need to make sure we have enough that goes through the wall all the way through. Turn it a little bit. There we go. That should be enough, because we're going to clean it up outside. Cut it off. Strip away some of this insulation. So now we have hot, which is black, common, white, and ground. Now, there's different ways that you can do this. Depending on what kind of outlet you have, you can pull these out by loosening the wires, and then these will come out. And then pigtail off it. What's pigtail is you cut a little wire, and then you take the wire coming in, you hook that together, and then you take this wire going out and you put that together, and then the pigtail goes into here, and then that will feed the power to this outlet and that outlet. We don't need to do that because this outlet has at the top, which is actually the bottom, you have to look for the line. That's the line coming in. And then the load, it really, if you look at the outlet, I don't know if you can see this, there's an extra set of holes here. I go off the line because I don't want to tap off of this outlet itself. Actually, I will, because this outlet is a GFCI outlet. So if this, which I'm going to be installing one on the outside anyhow, another GFCI, because it's outdoors. But if this outlet blows, for some reason, trips, it'll trip that outlet. So I'm going to strip a little wire off of here. Not the greatest strippers. My wire strippers are out in the garage. But all I need to do is strip enough wire. About a little over, maybe a ½ inch, about that much. Most outlets have a little stripper gauge. I have a little line on it that says, strip this much. So, my ground is actually back over here. So I'm actually going to give myself a little more ground, stripping some of this back, like that. So now I can loosen this power, take my power off of this, go ahead and stick it down inside there. Tighten that up. Now that's nice and secure. Take my common on this side. That Philip has to be better. Put that through there. Make sure all the wires are down all the way. There you go. Make sure that's nice and tight. And on the back is my ground. Now I could come up with this, pull the ground out. I'm going to actually put the ground back in this one. Actually, see what we got here. Do I have enough room? No. So, get me a wire nut, and we're going to pigtail the ground. Okay, so this is a wire nut. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut this off right here. This is all we need. Then we're going to hook these together. These two. Then we're going to take this third one, and we're going to put the back end. So if it sits like this, we're going to hook this one like this. We're going to put it right in here, work it in there, twist it right into where I just twisted the other two. Get a nice, and then kind of squeeze it together so you can get a nice starting spot for the wire nut. Like that. Take your wire nut, put it in. Okay. And now I have this. Push this wire back. And this wire can go down into the ground. I want to make sure that this wire nut's got room. Put this back here. Slide that right down in there. Oh, where's my... Take my screwdriver. Tighten this up. There we go. I'm going to take this, trim this off. So now, push that back, push all this wiring back inside. Push this out. squeeze that together. Still crooked. Not as bad though. I think it's much better. All right, now that we got this all put back together, now we got to head outside and hook up the new outlet and mount it to the wall. All right, outside, here's our wire. So you need one of these. This is a outdoor outlet box. This actually holds the GFCI, but you also need one of these. Your wire is going to run through it like that. But a couple things we got to do is these things come with little brackets. And screws. So you're going to put one on each corner here. If you're going to mount it like this, you want to put one here and here, and you want it, you can either do it this way or upright. And if you do it here, you want to put one here and here. So I'll mount it and then I'll show you. Just remember, if you don't know anything about this or you're not comfortable with this, call an electrician. There we go. There you go. You want something just like that. Now, I'm going to mount this and I'm going to mark a couple holes. Right on the edge. So I want to make sure that I've got a good spot to drill. So would help if I had my drill. Okay, line it up. Use anything to mark the holes. I mean, if a pin will work, a pin will work. Make sure it's nice and even. Got a couple holes there. I don't know if you can see them. One there, one there. Now what I use is I use a, what size is this? It's pretty small. 3/16 drill bit. And it works great with a Tapcon screw. This is kind of a deep screw. I mean, I have some smaller ones. but 3/16 is what you need. I think these might be too small anyhow, but my brick has holes in it, so there's a pretty good chance that those longer tap cons won't hurt anything. So let's see what we got. There you go. It's only about that much brick, and then there's a hole in it, so that'll work for a tap con. This one might be too close to the edge. See if I can get up and get a better leverage on it. I don't think these screws will work. Now I have to go with the tap cons. So I have to go deeper with this one. Oh, there you go. So next thing to get is some of this. Called duct seal. It is a putty seal that will watertight the back of the box. You also want to make sure, take this cap, close off the end that you're not going to use. Seal that off. Take some of your duct seal, peel the paper off the back. I need like putty. I need a little bit. Seal it back up so it don't dry out. Get a nice tube of it. Place it right around here. Just like that. Run your wire through. Line your holes up. And then push it against the wall. Take my tap cons. You don't want to put these tap cons too tight. There you go. That seals that. Might have to get a bigger screw. The tap con might be too small. Back into better position here. Might even take a little more. actually two holes here. Close this one up too. I just noticed that. Keep the bugs out. And I just take this like that. And here's my new outlet. Like right here. Strip these two guys. Worked out good enough. Silver nut, silver screw, white wire, brass screw, hot, black wire. Okay. Line, load, it says it right on here. This is the line in, so this will go to the line, which will go to the bottom. Well, we're actually going to have it this way. So, black goes here. Open this up. White here. Make sure those are tight. And then here's your brown. Put it behind this little copper shim in there. Put it behind that shim. Make sure it's up all the way, and then go ahead and screw that wire down, or that nut, that screw down. There you go. Now, this thing, go ahead and mount this in. You don't need it in all the way. These screws go inside here. You have to kind of put it in at an angle and push it down into these notches. So you need to have, it looks like maybe about 1/4 inch. So I'm gonna back this off just a little bit. So you put this up in, lift it, actually we need to come out some more, a lot more. Enough to get the screw in, and then come on down. There we go. There we go. There's a rubber cushion on the back of this that seals the box. This isn't going to work So if you close it and then push, see if I can get this out. I think you can pull the door. Oh, come on. I don't know how this comes up. Oh, there it goes. There's a pin on here that comes up. Like this. And you line this side up on top, and then you push the pin in from this side. Make sure it's locked all the way in, which is not. There it goes. That snaps it in. Okay, so now we have an outdoor outlet sealed in the back from critters and moisture. These tap-con screws I'm gonna have to replace with bigger ones. So now all we gotta do is turn power on and test it. Okay, you can see we got power. GFCI is tripped, which is normal. Reset. Tester. Got a good test. And this also checks GFCI, which works. Other outlet. Checks good. GFCI trips. We're good to go. Got any questions? Hit me up on the channel. Subscribe. I don't have a problem with critiques. If you had a problem with any of it, other than if you need an electrician, get one. See ya.